In the summer of 2017, I worked road construction in a small Tibetan town in Gannon, a few hundred households, a mile's walk just for cigarettes. The locals warned us, the mountains have their ways. Some things you don't look at, some things you don't say. I was young and never gave it a thought. Only later did I understand they'd meant every word. The day it happened was cloudless and bright. At noon I saw a crowd on the hillside opposite, at the flat stone platform the locals called the sky burial platform. Curiosity flared. I'd never seen a sky burial. I ran up and saw monks in red robes on the platform with two local helpers. They carried up a bundle wrapped in white cloth and unwrapped it. A body. An old master worked on it with a knife, cutting it apart piece by piece, pieces stacked along the platform's edge. Then the vultures dove, a black mass of them, the wind off their wings reeking of blood. I stood stunned, legs weak. I skipped lunch. The image played in my head all day. That night I kept the light on. Every time I closed my eyes, vultures diving. Death is death. It was their faith, their way of sending off a loved one. But I'd to look. That one look changed everything. That night, around 1, footsteps sounded above my head. Not a cat's scuffle on tin, heavy, slow, like thick-soled shoes pacing the roof. The footsteps circled once and stopped directly above my head, and stayed. I shouted, "Who's there?" Silence. My phone showed nothing. Behind the shed was a slope too steep to climb. I lay back down. That's when the trouble started. The moment I closed my eyes, something pressed down on my chest, real weight, crushing my breath. My arms felt nailed to the bed, my throat stuffed with cotton. Then a dark shape appeared, a blurry human figure hanging right above my face. The shadow dispersed and my senses returned, like a drowning man surfacing. Barely 20 minutes had passed. It felt like a whole night. After that it came every few days, each time clearer. After that the sight started going wrong too. The excavator died for no reason. The mechanic found nothing. It started right up next morning. Workers kept falling, stones dropping on their feet every few days. The creepiest was the client's project manager. He clutched his chest one day and collapsed, white as paper. The clinic said 10 minutes later, he'd be dead. All of it couldn't be coincidence, but I didn't dare think too deep. Who would I tell? The sleep paralysis I couldn't lie to myself about. At first, just a dark shadow. Later I could make out faces. Men and women, old and young, some in Tibetan robes, some in ordinary clothes, appearing before me, sometimes pressed against my face. Several times I woke at night, knowing I wasn't alone. One by the window, one behind the door, one at the foot of the bed. I told no one, not even my girlfriend. She came from Lanzhou to visit. On one night we both got caught. She shook me awake, saying someone stood at the foot of the bed watching us. I said it was just a dream. She said it wasn't. Half asleep, she'd seen a figure in white there, gone in a flash. I comforted her, but inside I went cold. I'd felt the weight too, seen more than one shadow. One evening I went into town for cigarettes. The shopkeeper, a Tibetan grandmother, hair white, eyes bright, refused the sale. "Young man, why does your face look so terrible?" I said I hadn't slept well. "Go back and bring me your bowl and chopsticks." She poured half a bowl of barley flour, sprinkled in some powder, chanting. Then she stood the chopsticks upright in the bowl, perfectly still. She stared, then sighed. "They don't want to leave." My scalp went numb. She said things were attached to me, more than one, and her skills were too shallow to send them off. I needed a real master. Oddly, after those words, the cold feeling eased. Later, I found a master in a nearby county town. Sitting in his room, I inexplicably calmed. He set up offerings for a few days and my sleep improved. One day we passed a lottery shop. I never touched lottery tickets, but at the door a thought rose. Buy one. The urge came fast and fierce, like a hand pushing me from behind. I bought a scratch-off, scratched it, and won. 1,800. But when I stepped out, the urge came again, fiercer. One more, one more. I went back, bought an identical ticket, scratched it, another 1,800. Within days, the things acted up worse than ever. In daylight, I'd hear someone call my name behind me. I'd turn, and nothing. Nights were worse. They came in shifts, or pressed against my face, their cold breath on my skin. Later, I could even predict where they'd appear, which corner, behind which door. By day, I forced myself to work. Nights were torment. One noon, I caught my reflection, ashen face, sunken eyes. At my worst, I thought, I should just die. That thought was my own. They never controlled me. I thought, fine, you want to scare me? Then I'll die, and when I'm dead, I'll go to the king of hell and lodge a complaint against you. The moment that thought surfaced, they pulled back. 2 quiet days, no more. On the third, all of it returned. I couldn't take it anymore, and told my girlfriend everything. She said her uncle knew a capable Taoist master in Lanzhou. After that call, I didn't dare sleep. At dawn, I hit the road. More strange things followed. No matter how I pressed the accelerator, the car capped out around 80 and wouldn't budge. Freshly serviced, engine normal, yet a 3-hour drive took 5. An unmarried couple can't share a room, so I got a side room. Her uncle, afraid I'd be scared, gave me old prayer beads, her grandmother's, gone nearly 10 years. They moved me to the room with the shrine. I fell asleep near midnight. A moment later, someone sat down beside me. I opened my eyes. A white-haired old woman working a string of prayer beads, the very ones her uncle gave me. Her grandmother, dead for nearly 10 years. She spoke, soft but clear. Why aren't you up yet? They've been waiting for you a long time. Get up and send them off. I jolted awake. The room was empty. My phone said past 6 in the morning. I sat on the bed a long time, those words echoing in my ears. The family drove me to the masters. Inside, my nerves loosened and exhaustion flooded over me. The master looked me over, frowned, glanced behind me like counting something. Then, I know your situation. Your car couldn't run properly on the way here, could it? I asked how he knew. At least 30-odd people are hanging off your car, inside and out. No wonder it couldn't move. Go sleep in the back room. They can't get in here. I slept, deep and dreamless. When they woke me, it was afternoon. He said he'd handle it and needed 7 days. Ideally, I'd stay, but the site would fall apart without me. Before I left, he said something I'll never forget. You've got a tough life. In all my years, I've never seen one person carry so many. If you'd never killed anything in your life, you'd probably be dead by now. True. I'd never killed even a chicken. Maybe that store of good deeds was why they could only scare me. I finally understood. The master's helper tipped me off. If they killed me, they'd never be reborn. They'd been guiding me to someone capable so I could help them be released. The water is cold. The mountains are cold. All they wanted was a hand to pull them out. But the money chilled my spine most. I never mentioned the lottery, not a word. Yet his fee was exactly 3,600, exactly what my 2 scratch-offs had won. They led me to that lottery shop. That money was the salvation fee they raised through my hands, for themselves. At the edge of those 7 days back at the site, I nearly lost my life. That afternoon, inspecting the retaining wall, I heard stones rattle overhead, a boulder tumbling straight for me. My mind went blank. My feet flung me aside. Yet the boulder's path still came at me, nowhere to dodge. In that instant, a strange wind whipped sideways and shoved it 0.5 meter off course. It crashed at my feet, debris spraying over me. My co-workers pulled me up, faces white. The wind came from nowhere. I called the master. He told me to find a yellow-painted house at the east end of town, light a butter lamp, and keep it burning 7 straight days. Work by day, guard the lamp by night, dozing against the wall. When the oil ran low, I refilled it, never daring to let it die. Once the 7 days passed, the sight smoothed out. When the project ended, I cashed out my small share and returned to Chengdu. Later, I broke up with that girlfriend. Then, a friend introduced me to a girl. We clicked at once, married within half a year. After we married, I learned her hometown was the very town where I'd built roads, and her father died in a car accident near the stretch of road I helped build. She lost him too young to remember his face, but I know one of the crowd that followed me must have been him. Otherwise, why would I marry a girl whose hometown was that very town? Why would we click like old friends from 8 lifetimes? I think he recognized me. He led me to his daughter. He entrusted me to send him where he needed to go, repaying the favor, settling his last bit of business. My wife sometimes asks why I never eat fish or game. I just smile and don't answer. I've never told her, and I don't plan to. Some things one person remembering is enough. Afraid? Yes, truly afraid. Not worth it? I wouldn't say that. They followed and scared me so long, wanting only kindness and a little help. They were anxious